Welcome to Otishele TV. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sí ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò Otishele TV níbi tí a ti máa mú àkójọpọ̀ ìròyìn wá lọ́lọ́tun lóníkan-ò-jọ̀kan. Ìròyìn tó jojú gbèsè òun ni tiwa lórí ṣánẹ́ẹ̀lì yìí. Ẹ dákun ẹ wá nǹkan fìdílé. Bó dẹ̀ yẹ kẹ́ ẹ fìdílé nǹkan ni ká jọ gbádùn ètò Otishele.
At the moment, Nigeria seems to be highly polarized along ethnic differences, with a constant battle of citizenship versus state of origin. Joining us now on the show to discuss the unity of Nigeria after the 2023 election is Mike Ejiofor, former director of the Department of State Services. Good morning and welcome to the morning show.
Thank you for having me. Good morning, Nigerians.
Thank you, Mr. Ejiofor. Now, in light of what I've just mentioned, I'd like to get your general assessment of the elections, particularly developments post-election.
Well, the post-election reaction from Nigeria is just open in the public domain. Suffice to say that actually it was quite unfortunate, very unfortunate that we have never been this divided along political, religious, and ethnic fault lines. If you look at the election per se, you see, you go to Southwest, they voted Southwest for APC because of the presidential candidate. You go to the Southeast, the people voted for the Labour Party. And if you go to the North, the votes were scattered. Although, if you come to Kano, you also see that cleavage of an individual, which is not good for us. And I can tell you that Nigerians and Nigeria has never been this divided along these fault lines, and it's quite unfortunate. Now, having said that, how do we move forward to unite Nigerians? Because without unity, without peace, there won't be any meaningful development. Thank God today is Good Friday. We need to make a lot of sacrifices. Christ made a lot of sacrifice for us, and we also need to make sacrifice to see the continued existence of Nigeria. By this, I mean we need to amend our laws. And I believe that the incoming National Assembly and the government should take the issue of unity very seriously, apart from security challenges that we are facing, which is also part of the disunity. This disunity is the greatest challenge we are facing. And I've come up with some solutions on how we should go about it to unite Nigerians. You see, we have this citizenship. A Nigerian citizen is a citizen of Nigeria, either by birth or by registration and so forth. But your state of origin as a Nigerian, my passport does not carry state of origin. My passport carries Nigerian citizen. So I am suggesting that we should de-emphasize the issue of state of origin. I remember that this former military president, Babangida, brought it up around 1991, that if you are born in a place, you automatically inherit that place as your state of origin. If you have lived in a place for 1 year and so on, you are automatically qualified to seek election in that, irrespective of where you're coming from. Look at, from your intro, look at what happened in Lagos. The ethnic profiling. The Igbos are not alone in Lagos, but because the Igbos are migrants, they are virtually everywhere. This issue of profiling that Igbos want to dominate Lagos, this shouldn't be. And the gubernatorial candidate of Labour Party, because his mother is Igbo, you now say it's not Yoruba. But if we have, even among the various ethnic groups, there are intermarriages, and they don't quarrel at home. And yet, when they come to politics, because of political ambition of politicians, they use it to divide us. And I think our politicians should learn to bring us together instead of dividing us the more. So, coming back to what I said, we are born in a place, automatically inherit that. And how do we achieve this? We do it through legislation. The incoming National Assembly should work towards this. This is one of the things that can unite us. You are born in a place, that place becomes, you have an option of going to your earlier state of origin, or you adopt that place. You are resident, you pay tax in a place for upward of 5 years, you can contest election there. I recall that we had issues, in the post-independence, where you have mayors, Hausa people, mayors in Enugu. In Lagos, you have people from the southeast, occupying positions of political influence. So how did we get here? What removed us from that cause that we are pursuing of uniting us? Now it is where you come from, who you are, who your mother is, who your father is, and it continues to divide us. The more we continue to be divided on this ethnic and religious fault lines, there won't be any meaningful development in the country.
Okay, you are quite right. In 1956, Malam Atine Umaru was mayor of Enugu. And in Enugu politics, we even had a certain Baba Sule, playing a major role in the politics of Enugu in the southeastern part, at that time. The Ibadan People's Party had even an Igbo member. And Nnamdi Azikiwe became a member of the Nigerian Legislative Council, representing Lagos from 1946 going forward. But how do you think that this country can heal and reconcile, having moved from that past? That's my number one question. My number two question is the DSS, where you worked, where you retired from. The Department of State Services has been accused of increasingly becoming an arm of the ruling government, the APC. APC members were told to write petitions, and DSS will act on that and say, oh, some people are calling for interim government. Is there something in the enabling act of the DSS that says it must follow the political wish of the government of the day of an incoming political party? Those two questions.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Bati. First of all, how do we heal our wounds? The wounds cannot be healed without fairness, equity, and justice. And this will manifest as the incoming government will have litigation, will have cases in court. Pending the determination of the cases, we'll have a president-elect. If he forms a government, it should be an all-inclusive government. Nobody should be looked at as having voted for me or not voting for me. There should be fairness, there should be equity in distribution of offices and amenities. That's the only way we can heal the wounds. Then, secondly, whether the SSS is an arm of APC. Well, I have never heard that any security outfit or secret service is an arm of any political party. Agreed, certain things have happened of recent. This is not the first time that the SSS has come out with advisory or informing the public of what is upcoming. You recall that this issue of interim government has been in the public domain before the SSS issued a statement. And the question is, I have had a lot of commentaries on this. The issue is, why did the SSS not arrest the perpetrators before issuing that statement? I can tell you that if the SSS goes to issue a statement, goes to arrest anybody without issuing it, the same SSS will be accused of political witch hunt. So the responsibility of the SSS is to prevent and detect crimes. So by issuing this alert, the perpetrators who have been known and identified according to the SSS report will be put on notice that if they continue, if you remember, the last part of that statement said that they should desist from going on in their criminal activities. And I believe that if they continue to go ahead, the SSS will effect arrest. Then on the issue of not taking action, I am equally disturbed. You know, there were cases, for instance, I shouldn't be talking tongue-in-cheek now at my age. In the next few months, I'll be 70 years. My concern should be, what is the future of Nigeria? Where I'm going to is closer than where I'm coming from, if you understand what I mean. I don't see myself staying another 70 years. So we must tell truth to power, tell people the truth, and let the truth make us free. I don't think the SSS was involved in this particular case we are talking of. I recall that before the election, there was, without mentioning names, in the Lagos, for instance, there were people who came out threatening that if certain people voted in favor of this, they will be dealt with, they will be shown the way out, and threatening that if you don't vote for any political party, you don't come out to vote. No action was taken. There's another group, a traditional ruler of one ethnic group, too, again in Lagos, that came that they should also come and protect them since they feel no longer protected by government. After all, the primary responsibility of government is protection and welfare of the people. Now, the man has been arraigned and detained. So that is double standard. It comes to what I'm talking about equity, fairness, and justice. There shouldn't be double standard. There should be a level playing ground. Do unto A what you do to B, and there won't be any problem. But you see, when you give one measure to this survey, you'll be seen to be acting in a particular manner, which is detrimental to our national interest.
All right, Mr. Geoffo, I would like to get your thoughts and comments around this issue with the vice presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Dati Ahmed, in an interview where a number of people have, on one side, some say it is tantamount to treason. In fact, the APC had asked the DSS to call him in, to invite him in to question him. Professor Wole Soyinka, in an interview with us a few days ago, said that, or was it yesterday or 2 days ago, that it was fascist. He made a fascist statement. I don't know if you've been able to listen to or perhaps read his statements. I'd like to get your thoughts. Having worked with the DSS, how would you assess his statements? Were they treasonable? Was he fascist? Should he be invited in for questioning by the DSS? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, for the vice presidential candidate of the Labour Party, I listened to his interview and I've seen it gone viral. He made a personal statement, and which is he's entitled to. But if he goes ahead, I believe that the SSS, if they have any evidence of pursuing that to its logical conclusion, action will be taken because nobody is above the law. In fact, this morning as I was going through my WhatsApp messages, I also saw a similar thing attributed to the former vice president in 2015. It was in Channels Television, Segun Akinbaloye, when he was asked similar question, when they said that they will form a parallel government. The government did not do anything. So why this particular one? I can tell you that the SSS will continue to monitor events as they unfold, and anybody, no matter how highly placed or how low you are, will be brought before the law. So I believe the vice presidential candidate made a statement, and the SSS has not had any concrete evidence, I'm expressing my opinion, to have invited him. Otherwise, they would have invited him. You recall what I earlier told you of the statement also credited to the former vice president, and the statement made by the SSS warning politicians to desist from the issue of interim national government. Because in the first place, interim national government is not only unconstitutional, it's illegal. So if the SSS had gone to arrest either the Labour candidate vice president. You know the conflagration it would have also brought to the country. So we manage our sensibilities and see how we can handle this without compromising standard of security.
Okay, Mr. Jofo, as we begin to wrap up, I would like to ask you for a general assessment of the performance of the security agencies during the elections on February 25 and March 18. The police collected so much money, and yet we saw the police supervising the snatching of ballot boxes. The only major agency that seemed to have done well will probably be the EFCC, that was out there monitoring, arresting people who were doing cash transfers and all of that. Other agencies will seem to have just gone to sleep. Why was that the case?
Well, I also recall that the Inspector General of Police addressed a press conference where over 587 offenders were arrested. So it will not be entirely correct to say that the police did not do anything. Don't also forget that policemen are Nigerians. You must have bad eggs within the various society. So the only thing I expect the police to do under this circumstance is to fish out the bad eggs and take appropriate disciplinary action. And I'm happy the relationship between the Police Service Commission and the police management is smoothing. It will allow for a effective discipline of, like the chairman of the Police Service Commission said, and fish out the bad eggs, discipline them, and let that serve as a deterrent to others. I've said this in times without number. If you travel by road between Okene and Auchi, even before Auchi, you have more than 11 police checkpoints. What are they doing? Extorting money from people. So I believe that the Police Service Commission and this present IG should look into all such things and sanitize the police image needs to be enhanced. The police image needs to be built up. And in fairness, this present IG too has been trying to instill discipline to the police. But so finally, answering your question, bad people, bad policemen, supervising collection of money, they are still Nigerians. So it's the society we have that we get.
Thank you very much, Michael Jofo, for joining us. By the way, where are you? Are you in a forest? It looks like you are somewhere that is not on the map of Nigeria.
I'm enjoying my holiday at Ubuluku. That's my town in Delta State.
Okay. That's on the map of Nigeria, certainly. Thank you very much.